It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
And here we are. It's Friday night. It's Animal Week on Car Con Carne. I'm James Van Alstyne. That over there, that's Ann Dieter. She is the president of Harmony House for Cats. Car Con Carne is sponsored by C&H Financial Services. I also want to mention before we begin, there is a brand new Car Con Carne t-shirt. It is the Care Con Carne t-shirt, a sign of the times. All profits made from the sale of that shirt design go to Hope for the Day. I've done a couple things with Hope for the Day since the pandemic started. I know a lot of my friends are out of work, struggling, hurting. No pressure, but if you're able to help, awesome. My friend Giorgio made the design. I think it's pretty awesome. It's on the front page of carconcarne.com and also in the new merch tab of the navigation. So as I mentioned, that right there, that is Ann. And she is the person in charge of Harmony House for Cats. And let's just start at the very beginning. Give me or walk us through the history of Harmony House for Cats.
Harmony House started, like many other rescue groups, as foster homes only in 1970. And then we bought our first building in 1978. And that was at Wrightwood in Southport in Chicago. And we were the second shelter to be cageless for cats and kittens, which it really was a good opportunity when it came to adoptions. You could just sit, they could play, they could run around, bring the whole family. Back in 1978, that was a very big new concept.
I'm
it
sure.
Was just Treehouse and us doing cageless.
Well, I was going to say, I'm doing these interviews every night this week. Animal welfare is definitely more of a top of mind thing. There are more people taking care of animals and looking out for animal welfare. Was it wildly different 3-4 decades ago when you started out?
It was just Animal Care and Control, the Anti-Cruelty Society, us, Treehouse, and back then they were called Felines Inc. instead of Felines and Canines, and then the Animal Welfare League. What's incredible right now, Chicago has, besides brick and mortar and then rescue groups, I believe 35 to 40 rescue groups in Chicago. The animals of Chicago are very, very lucky to have so many people advocating for them. So
sorry, you were talking about starting out in the 70s, brick and mortar. Where did we leave off?
Oh, so we had the place on Wrightwood in 1978. We moved to Kedzie near Addison in 1988. Again, kind of think of a normal 2-flat, and you rehab the rooms and there's screen doors on the outside of them. But our newest place on Elston, which is near Diversey, has a lot of eco-friendly features and technology, and a lot of big picture windows for the cats, and a lot of rooms for them to run around and play in. We've been there since 2012.
Well, let's talk about that facility. I mean, just reading about it, it sounds state of the art. 3 adoption playrooms, 3 admission rooms, 4 special needs suites, a medical ward, and a treatment room and a conference room. It's eco-friendly. This seems like a very mindful effort, getting that together and building that for the welfare of these cats.
Well, and it also is the gift of just one donor. It was this person's concept. They were part of the process and the team, and assembled the architects, the engineers, everyone that was a part of that team. And to have someone literally present you with that kind of a gift is just mind-boggling.
So at that point, how hard were you crying when you found out you were going to get that check for that?
Actually, it was more being stunned. And I have a feeling when I went back to the board, that was their feeling. And then, of course, the process started in 2010. To this day, it's still a secret who our donor is.
Really? That's true benevolence.
Yeah, that was very important that not be told to the public.
Wow.
So
let's talk about where things are at now because of COVID-19. You are completely closed down for the moment, aren't you?
We did that to protect our staff. We have a really tiny staff of 7 people, and we just even to have our own volunteers coming and going. We just thought would be unsafe for them as far as getting sick.
Sure.
So they're the ones caring for the animals. Our volunteers come by and look in the windows at the cats because they miss them.
I bet.
Which is why we do Facebook Live.
And you do that every Saturday.
Every Saturday at noon. But I said, look, even us board members, we can't come over either. It's just the staff members. And they're doing a phenomenal job. And, they're carpooling again to get off the CTA, so there's no exposure to anything. And people are like, oh, you shouldn't be that scared. And I was like, well, no, COVID-19 scares me.
Yeah.
It scares all of us.
And it should. This is a pandemic. That's the right approach. So obviously, you're shouldering a lot as the world is what it is right now. How can people help?
I would say, if you go to our website, of course, there's ways to donate. For many people, if they can't donate right now, you can share posts, share activities coming up. At this time of year, we'd normally be very busy with events, and like many groups, we've either canceled, moved them, come up with other ideas, and everything, it's just this kind, it's being in limbo right now, and seeing how things are going. But we're trying to be just connected to people and staying in touch with people and let them know we're still here. And when we reopen, adoptions will be different. Even volunteering might be different because while those, larger adoption rooms are large, all the smaller suites are about the size of a typical bedroom. So we would have room for, say, one adoption counselor, and then say if it's a couple or a family, social distancing is going to be a challenge at first.
For everybody, again, but yeah, for sure.
Something we're looking at.
For sure.
Life is going to change.
Yeah, more and differently. What is it about cats that you love so much?
Well, I always say to people, are you cats or dogs? And I was like, I love all animals. But the cats, there's so many different personalities, and they're just, I came to Harmony House as a staff member, back in 1980. That's how I met them. And then after I left for a different job, I've been a volunteer ever since. So it's just been a part of my life, and I'm equal opportunity for all animals.
I haven't had a cat in my house for a little while. I do miss the 2 a.m. wake ups where I had two cats. They'd run high speed around the house, run across me asleep in bed, like pounce on my chest, and then eventually land on my head. It was like, just no matter how hard I was sleeping, I knew that at some point in the night I'd be awoken by cats, which was endearing in its own way.
Well, but then I assure people that we might be able to find you a cat that won't do that. So most of my cats
exist.
They do, because my one kitty, Vinny, did that all the time. But I've had other cats that sleep fabulously at night, which, people are like, wow, and did you train them? And I was like, no, they came that way.
Luck of the draw.
But like in my case, I tend to adopt middle-aged cats. I don't tend to adopt, new ones. Mm-hmm. So
I want to thank Chris and Denise and Stephanie and Mike, John, Greg, Christina, another Jeff, Aaron, John, Mark, Molly Jean, and Mike, all for watching on Facebook Live. And okay, the website for Harmony House for Cats is
HH for Cats, spelled out HHFORCATS.org.
And again, people can learn more, and if they want to help, if they can help, they can do so. They can also follow Harmony House on social media, watch the Facebook Live, share the content, talk about it, get this content socialized and discussed.
And that's so important. Whether you share it, you like it, tell your friends. As I say, if it's a difficult time, you can't give money, that's okay. Send out good mojo. We like good mojo.
That's it. It's like I said at the beginning. I'm doing these shirts for charity. I know that people are on hard times. I am too. We all are. I get it. Talking about it, getting the word out about things is every bit as important, especially now. We have nothing but time to talk. So let's talk, let's share. And thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate the work that you do, and I hope things get to normal soon enough and you can get back in the facility and get back to the business of matching cats with people who will take them to forever
that's
homes.
The plan.
Wonderful.
We can't wait to do it.
I want to thank everyone for watching on Facebook Live. I appreciate you. Thank you for doing this on your Friday night.